Hey, what's up, my little Tattle Tells? Listen, thank you for welcome to a little late night tarot. You guys, this stuff with Wendy Williams is weighing on me heavy. If you didn't see my video, go ahead and check it out. But I want to do a quick late night reading of Wendy Williams to actually see what's going on with her. There's been so many conflicting reports, and we just need to get through this. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Eight of Cups. Ooh, we got the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Nine of Wands. Swords. We have the Devil's Playground. Let's get a few more cards out. Let's get a few more cards out. We have the Emperor. Ooh. And what just fell to the floor? We got the Star. And we have the Five of Swords. You guys, what is going on in Wendy Williams' life? It's a couple of things, but things that we need to actually be aware of. Now, let's just do this really quick, really dirty and see what's going on. The Three of Swords. Wendy is around people that are very envious of her. Now, listen to me on this one, right? When it comes to jealousy and envy, there is a big difference. Jealousy is saying, listen, I want something that you have, right? However, envy is when people see something she has and they want it for themselves, but they don't want her to have anything. Now, listen, don't think about the surface. Think about this on a more insidious level. Wendy, lover or hater, has a spark that draws people to her. She built an empire off of being cheeky, winks, nods, whatever, right? That's why we're talking about her now. There is something that Wendy that is so innate in her bones. That others, she's drawn to people with parasitic relationships. She's drawn to people that want to use her. But get this, because they want to absorb what she possesses. They want her specialness. When they find out they can't absorb it, then they want to control it. And when they can't control it, they want to destroy it. Right now, she is deep in that Three of Swords energy where people close to her, it could be one person that has two roles, lover, best friend, or it can be two people very close to her, maybe sister, mother. I'm using this as an example that are literally trying to tear her down. Now, one of the reasons why she's kind of stuck in a loop and doesn't know where she is because she is also in the Eight of Cup energy. That Eight of Cup energy combined with the Three of Swords is a cocktail for disaster, for self-loathing, for self-healing. What does that mean? The Eight of Cups, if you look closely at the cards, right? The moon represents your emotional self, right? And the man in the red cloak walking is your conscious self, your emotional self. Deep inside, no matter what everybody says, you're looking at yourself with contempt, with hatred, with disgust. Why? Because you're mad at yourself. This is your emotional self is mad at yourself. Wendy's emotional self is mad at herself, but her conscious it's more focused on, if you see you have 8 cups lined up there is a 9th cup that is missing. Wendy is beside herself about that 9th cup that is missing. Why is she beside herself? Well, for a couple of things, right? For one, we have these 8 cups. And there is a 9th cup that is missing. And this 9th cup is something Wendy sacrificed everything for. She fought for it. She sacrificed even her own self, her own self-respect. And how do we know she sacrificed her own self-respect? That's why emotionally her moon is looking down on her with contempt and anger. Because they said you wanted something so bad that you bet everything, even the most valuable thing, which is us. Wendy's conscience is just worried about that 9th cup. Why doesn't she have that 9th cup? Why didn't it manifest? Why wasn't she worthy? She did everything she was supposed to do. See, the issue is, right? That question, why? Right now, Wendy is deep in the in the Nine of Swords energy and in that Devil's Playground energy. What is the Nine of Swords energy? No, she is beside herself with sadness and grief because the rose-colored glasses on her face that she's been walking with for decades have been smashed from her face by light. They knocked those rose-colored glasses off her face and they literally ground them into the ground. That's right. This is Wendy literally waking up to what reality is. And reality is so cold. It's so hurtful. It's so far from what she sacrificed everything for. So far what she bargained for that she is beside herself with grief. Not just grief for what she lost, but grief for what she sacrificed. And this has her deep in the Devil's Playground. Now, I will say with the Devil's Playground, a lot of people have been speculating that Wendy has dementia, that Wendy has this. What leads me to believe that Wendy is stuck in some type of tunnel where she is revisiting her afflictions, her tendency for maybe too much substance, too much liquor, is because what is the Devil's Playground? The Devil's Playground is hedonistic distraction. Literally, too much wine, too much drink, too much substances, too much indulging in the carnal pleasures of the flesh. It can be anything. It can be something as innocuous as watching too much Netflix. But in this case, in Wendy's case, it looks like when you look at the self-loathing of the Eight of Cups, when you look at the Nine of Swords not wanting to face reality, it is hedonistic distraction by any means necessary. We all know that Wendy has a pattern for indulging in chemical substances. She's talked about it. People have talked about it. It is an open kept secret. It's not even secret at this point. This is a cocktail for revisiting anything to distract from what reality is. Anything to put you back to sleep. See, this is the thing of the Nine of Swords. Yes, you're weeping, but part of the tears are you're begging, you're hoping you can go back to sleep. Because even though you've just gotten woken up from a dream that turns out you were living a nightmare the whole time, you want to go back to sleep and you're using the Devil's Playground to try. But that's not the way the Devil's Playground works. See, here's the thing why it can't be. Well, I don't want to say can't, right? Tarot doesn't predict the future. All it does is fill out energy, right? When it comes to the Devil's Playground, does anything bad happen in Devil's Playground? Absolutely not. Does anything good happen? Absolutely not. You're stuck in a loop. You're stuck, almost like Westworld. You're stuck in a loop. So how do you break that loop? Right? Because let's look at Wendy's cards. She has the Wheel of Fortune. She has the Emperor. She has the Star. This is all major arcana. How do you make that bridge between being stuck in this loop with the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Cups, that Devil's Playground route, all stemming from people that are so jealous of what her natural given gifts are, but they will destroy her and watch her self-destruct because they cannot have. I have a strong feeling this is not just her husband or her ex-husband. That's the obvious, but it's also people very, very, very close to her. If they want to absorb, if they cannot absorb, they want to possess, they want to control. If they cannot possess and control, then they will destroy it, right? So what is the key to breaking out of this? Because we see the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is saying that even though people think this is Wendy's last act, it is far from over for her. It is far from over for her. She has a lot more to do and a lot more to offer. How do we know this? Because the Wheel of Fortune, the universe is turning. The universe is turning into the next leaf of life. The universe has said, we believe you've learned your karmic lesson, or you should have, and it's time to move on. And the best way to be with the Wheel of Fortune is on top, to the side, or in front of the Wheel of Fortune. Wendy is slipping underneath the Wheel of Fortune. How does anybody slip underneath the Wheel of Fortune? They slip under the Wheel of Fortune by holding on to things that no longer serve us. See, here's this thing. When the wheel of fortune starts turning, you gotta keep up. If you don't, you'll slide under and the wheel of fortune will start turning on you. First it turns on your fingers, then your wrist, then your arm. Before you know it, it's crushing your whole body. Not because the universe wants to hurt you, and not because the universe is trying to punish you. It's because you are a leaf in the stream of creation, and you must let go of everything that you held on to. Beliefs, people's, love, hate, anger, everything. You must let it go in order for the wheel to turn. And the thing is, as soon as you let it go, boom, the universe moves you to where you want to be and your blessings flow into. What is Wendy holding on to? She's holding on to people, patterns, and ideas of ways of thinking that no longer no longer serve her. She has to let go of these toxic way of thinking in order to get the new blessings that the universe is bringing to her. See, this is what inspires that 3 of Swords energy. A lot of people are literally so jealous of Wendy, have always been, because whether they don't think she deserves it, whether they don't want her to have it, whether they pray that she never really maintains it, she appears to be blessed and highly favored. So what is she holding on to? What can't she let go of? What is she trying to bring into her next stages of her life? A way of unhealthy thinking or acting that no longer serves her. Well, she has that 8 of Cup energy. Let's go back into that. Why is she so upset with herself? Why? Because she sacrificed everything, even herself, her pride, her dignity, to achieve something. Now, one can say from her past, we see that her interpersonal relationships and her romance is very, very important to her. She's conquered daytime TV. She's conquered everything career-wise. But personally, she always feels like she's not enough. How do we know that? Because that 8 of Cup energy is literally, you sacrificed everything. And when that 9th cup didn't manifest, you blamed yourself. Why wasn't I good enough? Why didn't I deserve it? Why wouldn't you give it to me? I gave everything I could. Why wasn't it enough? The thing is, Wendy keeps asking why? The idea that she has to actually embrace is because. See, the thing is, she keeps asking, why wasn't she enough to get what was due hers? It never occurred to her to ask, did the person or people that she's demanding her what she's owed, do they even have it to give? See, here's the thing. Let's just say that she's like, why didn't you give me the love I gave? I sacrificed. Why didn't you give it back? Why did you abandon me? Why did you leave me? And she's looking at herself with such contempt. Why did you waste so many years? Why did you shed so many tears? Why did you allow so much disrespect? And she's asking herself, why didn't you love me? But the question that she needs to ask, does this person even have the capability to love you? Does this person even love themselves? Did this person ever love themselves? So here's the thing. You can get mad at a person for a lot of things. And you can actually say, why did you lie to me? Why did you mislead me? Why didn't you tell me that you weren't capable of loving me before I gave everything to you and loved you? But the answer to that is simple, isn't it? Right? Because we've all been there. Some of us get stuck there. Some of us don't. But we've all been there when we realized that it wasn't just the fact of us sacrificing everything at the altar of this person's fit for their love. That wasn't the whole game. They also needed you to sacrifice yourself at their altar so they could feel like a deity, so they could feel like a god. See, here's the thing. Lover or hater, we look at that Wendy Williams, the rags to riches story, that girl from New Jersey that took over New York, right? But the people and the man she chose to love could never deal with that. He could never deal with the fact that we came from the same place. We both came from the dirt, but I'm shining in the sky like a star, and he's still in the dirt. So when Wendy turned that light that we all love to see on TV and shined it on him, it made him feel like a god. It made him feel like a deity. And he was never going to admit that he was not worthy of, forget about reciprocating. He was not worthy. Forget about being worthy. He didn't even have the bare minimum that she thought she possessed. Now, in a perfect world, he'd go to her and he'd be like, yo, Wendy, I got to be honest with you. I can't love anybody. I don't even love myself. I can't be proud of anyone. I'm not even proud of myself. I can't support anyone. I can't even support myself. What did he do? He lashed out. You know, on a certain point, her ex idolized her and what she had. And what happens when your idols, you don't see, when you can't be your idols? When you're a small, weak person, you try to destroy your idols. Wendy needs to realize there was why didn't you get what you deserve? Why? Wendy, the answer quite simply is because he never had it to give. Once Wendy reaches that conclusion, not just in her head, but in her heart, the wheel of fortune will release her. Because she'll stop holding on to. She'll stop holding on to these dreams. She'll stop begging to put herself back to sleep through substances, to numb her, to put her back in this dreamlike state that will never come back. Wendy will be able to release herself from the devil's playground. And the Three of Swords energy will finally not be with her. Now, I want everybody to know the reason why I have a hint it might be Kevin, besides obvious things, is the fact that the Three of Swords energy, that envy when it comes to romantic relationships or even close relationships, the very dark insidious manifests itself as emotional abuse, right? Physical abuse, cheating, manipulation, lying, tearing down the self-esteem. That's the most darkest manifestation. But it's a spectrum. Sometimes it can be negging. Sometimes it can be people playing mind games with you. It can be all of that. But we know in Wendy's case, it was all of that. Y'all, Wendy needs to realize you were always good enough. You were always more than enough. You gave this person more than they ever deserved. And the reason they never gave it back is because they didn't have it. And even though they found another star in the sky, at least in their sky, maybe they don't shine as brightly as you because you're the sun, and he found someone else. And he made the same promises to them that he made to you. It doesn't mean for 1 second that he still has something to give. He is still writing checks in which there are no funds to withdraw. Just because he found someone to believe that same lullaby that Wendy believed to put her to sleep, it doesn't mean that lullaby is any more true or any more capable of being fulfilled than it was with her yesterday, than it will be today, that it will be tomorrow. Wendy needs to realize that. And when she does, that Five of Swords energy will open up. What is that Five of Swords energy? The Five of Swords energy is where all those that held weapons against you, the weapons fall. Their schemes do not prosper. You become empowered. You pick those swords up and you use them to fight your way out of this darkness, this chasm, this sad place, this prison of your mind you've put yourself into. And the thing is, when we're looking at Three of Swords energy, especially combined with the Eight of Cups, but when we look at that Three of Swords energy combined with that Eight of Cups, it lets us know that some of those people that were holding those swords were our own thoughts and opinions of ourselves. Wendy is fighting not just with the outside and not just a reality that happened to her, but she's fighting for her own life. She's fighting for her own salvation. She's fighting for her sanity. This is what's going on. Once Wendy Williams realizes this hurtful but ever-present truth, she'll then be free to get into that star energy. You guys, what is that star energy? The star energy is, listen, is it the sun where everyth's cheery again? No. But you know that saying is always darkest before the dawn. The sun is cracking out on that horizon, and it's reflecting on illuminating every star in the sky. And that star in the sky is illuminating these primordial waters, inviting Wendy to come drink. And once he drinks these primordial waters and heals what has been broken from the Three of Swords, heals the time that has been stolen from her, heals the pain she feels from her fantasy that she so desperately wanted not being able to be fulfilled. Once she does that, she'll be able to pour these primordial healing waters onto the ground around her. That's the tangible. That's her work. That's her life's work. She'll be able to pour it on and it'll come up again fertile. Y'all, a lot of people are writing Wendy Williams off, but these cards tell a different story. Her best is yet to come. Don't count her out. She does need to heal, no doubt, but the universe is opening up for her to heal. The universe is waiting for her to not bring her blessings, but to accept her blessings and let go of once and for all that which no longer serves her. Last thing, as she heals, keep an eye out on her. She's going to go quiet for a while. Wendy is also deep in that Emperor energy. What is that Emperor energy? The Emperor energy is not concerned with the gossip that goes on in town. They're not concerned with what the butcher, baker, candlestick maker thinks of them. They only care about expanding their kingdom and winning the wars. Losing a few battles, that's child's play for an emperor. They're interested in winning the war and expanding their kingdom. Be on the lookout, guys. Wendy is going to go very, very silent into that Emperor energy, thinking and looking. Once she realizes her power and she sees the perfect opportunity to ignite it again, once she heals, she will come back with a bang. She will come back with a bang. You guys, this was a really heavy reading. I hope you like it. I am I do tarot readings on YouTube. I try to do every Monday and Thursday. Sometimes I do a weekend tarot reading and throwing something in. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this reading. If you like a private reading, you can DM me on Instagram, Tattle Tells, with 2 S's, TISATELLSS. On Instagram, you can DM me and we can work that out. I hope you enjoyed this reading for Miss Wendy Williams. You guys, don't count her out. The best is yet to come. All right, my little Tattle Tells. Mwah. I'll see you later.